What's up everybody, it is me, R3D2, and we're back for a new Star Wars Empire More mod tutorial. In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to add a new capital ship to any faction. To any faction in Empire War. Now, to be clear, this method will work for Empire War, Forces of Corruption, Disk, and Steam versions. But I recommend Steam because its stability patches released by Petroglyph allow it to handle larger mods. With that out of the way, we're going to get started here. So I'm going to be adding the MC-50 class cruiser to the Rebel faction in Star Wars Empire War Forces of Corruption. So, in order to do this, you're going to need a few things. You're going to need the Meg editor, the MTG editor, the DAT editor, the ALO viewer, and a model to use. I'll leave links to all of this in the description, but with that out of the way, let's get started. So basically, when you download this file that I leave a link to, there will be a it will be in this. It will be in a RAR file index. To get rid of this, to open this, you'll have to have WinRAR, which I'll leave a link to this in the description as well. But basically, once you have this program installed, you right click and click open with WinRAR. So basically, we're gonna be adding the MC50. So you just have to extract this. Let's just extract it to the desktop. Okay, and it's extracted as you can see. That's pretty much all you have to do. So we can get rid of this now. So, the MC50, this is the model inside of it and all of the other this is this is all the stuff that you're going to need. It does not come with an icon, however, so that's going to be a bit of a problem, but I can show you how to fix that. So, just minimize that, and now we're going to have to create a new folder. Create a new folder anywhere on your desktop and click and call it, let's just call it mod 1 because this is just the name of the mod. Open it and just pretty much leave that open for now. Now, before we get started, there's a few more things we need to get. We need to get the MT command bar, which those of you who have watched my previous videos know this is where the icons for the game are stored. For this, you're going to need the Meg editor, that I left a link to as well. Click File, Open, and then you basically just I already have done this a ton, so you just navigate to your Forces of Corruption directory to the data folder in your force, not a mod, to the data folder of your Forces of Corruption, and then you find the Meg files. Then you find the one that says textures. In this, you just scroll down until you find what says MT command bar .tga and MTD. You have to extract both of these. Extract files and this PC desktop. Okay. Two files extracted. Good. Now, it will come out in the data folder, which is perfect because you just got to drag the data folder into your mod folder. So it should be mod name, data, art, textures, and then the MT command bar. This is pretty much how it goes. So back to data. Now, also, you're going to need the XML files for the game, which I already have. I'll leave links to them in the description. But basically, you just copy the XML files for whatever game you're making a mod for. Just drag that into your data folder. Last one you have to make is the text folder. Just create a folder, name it text, and then you open it, and then you right click on your Forces of Corruption shortcut, go to data and text, and then copy the master text file into your text folder. And that's it. You're done. This is the basic file structure most Empire War mods use, but there's a few more things we have to add before we're ready. In art, you go to art, and alongside textures, you add a folder called models as well. This is where the models go. For the record, ALO and ALA files go in models, and DDS and TGA go in textures. So we just drag these models into the model folder and drag these into the textures folder. Now, just close this and close this as well. Now, you go to your mods folder. I have a shortcut to it, but you might not. So you go to your Forces of Corruption mods folder and then drag the mod folder in there. Then you open it. Data, art, models. Go to models, and then you find the main. This is the main model here. Rebel Mon Calamari MC50. Here we go. So as you can see, it's missing a few things because this folder that I downloaded has a few extra files coming. Has a few extra files I have to have. So I'll show you how to get those. So basically the same thing. You open it. You open with WinRAR, and then there's extra here. So general textures. You extract this to your desktop as well. Then you open it, and you literally just drag all of this into the textures folder of your mod. All of these, just drag them all into textures. Textures and textures. There we go. Then you close this again, but then you open it back up again, and there we go. As you can see, it's perfectly fine now. This is a very beautiful model. So now that all this is finished, now we can actually start coding. Now, you're going to need an icon. I'll show you how to do that. Actually, what I'm going to do right now. So basically, you just position the ship however you want, and then you use your screen snip. Screen snip, you click this little new notifications, this button over here, and then click screen snip. Then you just drag a box around this. Just drag a box around it. Then you just save this. Let's just say it. Let's save it as MC50. Save. Then close that. Just okay. So now here, this is where you need paint.net. I'll leave a link to this in the description as well. So you just open paint.net and then you drag this new image that you created into it as well. Open it. Now, image, you click resize and then resize it to 48 pixels by 48 pixels. You also will have to disable this. Disable maintain aspect ratio. Just disable that, like I have it disabled now, and then click OK. As you can see, it is much smaller. Now you have to zoom in. It's okay. It's fuzzy. It's okay. This is perfectly fine. This is normal. Then you click eraser. Oh crud! I didn't mean to do that. There we go. Okay. Then you click eraser, and then you erase everything around it except for the ship itself. A lot of people think they can just use any art program for this, but no, you can't. You have to use paint.net for this reason. You click File and click Save As. Most Empire at War mods use the I button an icon name after it, so I'm going to do this as well. But you have to save it. You have to save it as a .tga file, or it will not work. Just save it to your desktop or wherever you're working. Save. I button mc50.tga. There we go. Now you go back over here to your models. You go to textures. Then you drag this into your textures folder. Now this is where the MTD editor comes in. You open the MTD editor or the command bar. Then you click File, Open, and then you navigate to here and you open both of them. You open the MTD version first and then the TGA version. Then it will show you all the icons in the game. Now, edit, insert files, and then you insert the I button MC50. And now the icon is in the game. That's pretty much all you have to do with that. Okay, I did not mean to close that. Okay, so we're pretty much done with the model, or rather structuring the mod. The mod is structured the way we need it to be, but you still need the model, and we need to go back to the mod. Okay. Oh wait, I haven't put it in there yet. So you have to put your mod folder. The mod folder, you have to put it into your mods folder in your Forces of Corruption game data folder. So as you can see, I put mod 1 in here. Open it, data, art, models, textures, all of this. But now you have to go to your XML folder. So this is where all the stuff is stored for all the main structures for the mod is kept. So basically, what you have to do now is you have to find the hardpoint data files folder. Hardpoint data files. Basically, you need to open this, and these are all where all the hardpoints are stored. Now, you go back here and you copy Hardpoints Underworld. Just copy it and click paste. Now you rename it Hardpoints Mod. Okay. Now you go to the now you open it. Now you go to Hardpoint data files and then just copy the hardpoints, copy hardpoints, and then paste it _mod. There we go. So now it will recognize our hardpoints folder. Now you just delete all this. You just delete everything in here except for the tags at the top, which I'll tell you what are in a second. You just have to erase all the code. Oh crud. Okay, erase. Sorry about that. Anyway, yeah, you just erase everything in here except for the tags at the top and bottom. Sorry, this is taking a second. It just does. This is time consuming. Okay, hardpoints, and just remove it. So you leave the hardpoint tag at the bottom, the one at the top, and you leave the... Oh. Are you freaking serious? Sorry, guys. Okay, yeah, you just leave the tags at the top and bottom. At the top and bottom, and you leave the tag that says the XML version. So you leave this, and you leave this. Other than that, delete everything else. Okay, so that's done. We're gonna put the hardpoints in here in a second. Now you need to open back up hardpoints. This is the regular one, and then you need to scroll down to where it says units space rebel MC30 frigate. Okay, so you copy this and then paste it again. Then you rename this unit space rebel MC50. Okay, and then you open it. Now, the last XML file we're going to have to open right now is the game object files XML. Game object files. Here we go. So basically, this tells the game what XML files to recognize. So we're going to go over here to units space rebel MC30. You just copy the MC30 frigate, paste it behind it, and just replace this with MC50 or whatever you named your file. Then now you save that. Now MC50. So now you remove this and just make MC50 up here. Make sure this says MC50. Text unit. This is where you need the DAT editor. So you go over here and open the DAT editor. File, open, and then you go to this PC, then program files x86, Steam apps, common, Empire at War, corruption, mods, mod name, data, text, master text file. Here we go. This is where all the text is stored in the game. So edit, insert string. Now you have to paste this in here. Make sure it says text unit MC50. You just copy this into here. Okay, so I actually don't know much about the MC50, so the easiest way to learn about this is you go to your internet browser and search MC50 Star Wars. MC50 Star Wars. It's a medium cruiser. Okay. The MC50 class medium cruiser meant to fulfill the role as the strike cruiser for the Empire. It's highly modular and decently armed. It has really decent shielding and armor for its size. Okay, so you just copy this. You pretty much just copy this, or I'm lazy, so I'm just gonna copy this and put it in here. But you can write what you want or word it however you will. Okay, so then you click OK, and then that's done. You've done that. Now, text tooltip. Oh wait, no, I messed it up. Okay, you want to avoid doing that. I'm sorry, I messed that up. So text unit MC50 should just be MC50 medium cruiser. Okay, now for the next one, edit, insert string, then text tooltip MC50. Now this is where you put the information about it, like here, paste, and then you paste this. I apologize, guys. I make that mistake all the time. So paste. Okay. Then now it's done. So that's all the text you'll have to put in here. So I button MC30C. This is the icon in the game. So in the icon, if I remember correctly, we put into the empty command bar as the I button MC50. So now you just change this from I button MC30 to I button MC50. There we go. Now the space model name. This is the model that will show up in game when you start a tactical battle. So basically, Rebel Mon Calamari MC50.alo. So we just had to change it to Rebel Mon Calamari Rebel Mon Calamari MC50.alo. Okay, we're done there. Monkey, or just remove this. Okay, leave this, pretty much just leave everything up here. And damage 40, we're just going to leave that the way it is. Auto resolve health, just pretty much just leave all this. And tactical health, let's actually beef this up a bit because it did say it had good armor and shielding. There we go. So rebel affiliation, let's make it tech level, let's just leave it at tech level 4, required starbase level 3, build cost credits, just leave all this the way it is. Build cost credits, leave that the way it is. Leave all this. Hard points. So I'm going to get to just remove these, and I'm going to get to this in a second. And that's pretty much it. Okay, that's done. You're done coding everything in this main file. Now we just got to add the hard points. Now you go to the hard points mod folder I had you create a second ago. Now you find the hard points that you want to copy. So let's just say find Nebulon. So the Nebulon B frigate. Just copy the Nebulon B's hard points. Okay. Copy hard points mod and paste it in there. Okay. So these are the hard points that will show up on the ship. But now we have to code them to the frigate. So this is where the ALO viewer comes in. Let's maximize this, and you click show bones and then show bone name. So this is basically every one of those little yellow squares is basically where a hardpoint, a weapon, can attach. So we're going to do basically the same number as the Nebulon B frigate. So I'm just going to put right here. So go to your bones. You can just pretty much turn off the ones you don't want, but for the sake of this, so right here, so HP01, HP02, these do bones here. This is where we're going to put the turbo lasers, or whatever this is. This is a hardpoints mod. This is a turbo laser. Okay, yes. So basically the bone, this is basically where it attaches. So now this model does come with break off hardpoints. Basically when it's damaged and it loses a hardpoint, it will break off and come off. Unavailable specified file. Okay, that happens sometimes. But basically, oh crud. Here we go. Here we go. Okay, so the Mon Calamari MC50. Okay, this model actually, okay, sorry, I was wrong. This model does not come with break-off hardpoints, which actually makes this easier. So, model to attach, you remove model to attach because there's no model to attach it to. Death break-off prop, remove this. Okay, so attachment bone. This is where the bone. This is the bone where the hard point will actually show up. You replace this with here. So HP underscore 01. There we go. And now just copy this to collision mesh and the fire bone. And you're done. That's one hard point. Okay, so now HP Nebulon B. Oh, wait, there's one more. I almost forgot. HP MC50 weapon FL. Okay, then this poor hardpoint is done. Now you again MC50. Leave all this the way it is. Remove the model to attach. Remove the death breakoff prop. Now the attachment bone is going to be HP02 on the opposite side of the last one. HP02, HP, okay, HP02, HP02. Okay, so this hard point is finished. Now, HP MC50 weapon BL. Now remove the model to attach. Again, you pretty much get where this is going from here. Okay, so now we got to find new bones. So the turbo lasers will be here and here. So in the middle, let's say HP 04 and 03 will be the laser cannons. Okay, so attachment bone HP 03. 03. Okay. HP 03. No, that's 2. 03. Okay. HP 03. Okay. This hardpoint is now coded. Now the last one, the last weapon that is, HP MC50 weapon BR. Now remove the model to attach. Remove the death breakoff prop. Now the bone will be HP 04. HP 04. Make sure you make sure this is this says HP, because if it doesn't, it's not going to work. HP 04, or it has to match the bone name. Okay, so all the weapons are coded. Now we got to do the engines. HP MC 50 engines. Now models to attach. This, delete this as well. This is an attachment bone. You just, okay, so pretty much now leave this here. So HP, so the engines, we're going to put it back here because this is where it goes. So hanger 01, that does not mean that hanger has to go there. That's just the name of the bone. So we're going to make it attach right here. So hanger 01 is the bone that we're going to put the engines on. 01, okay. And paste. Okay, there we go. Now we just have to take these hard points. We have to save this file, then copy this into the hard points. Paste, and then comma, space. Now copy this one. You get what I'm doing, right, guys? Basically, just go through, copy and paste all the different names of the hard points that you just made onto here, so the game knows to recognize that these hard points are associated with this ship. Now you can see this is going to get really tedious with larger ships. So yeah, larger ships. That's why bigger mods these days have huge teams helping them. Okay, so that's all of those. So that's all the hard points. Now that's pretty much it. It's done. Now is the testing part. Now you have to test it in game. You also need to make sure that you saved everything. Okay. Now I already showed you in your mods folder. You put it in your mods folder that you use however you launch mods. Now you just launch it. Now I launch my mods with the Empire at War mod launcher, which is the easiest way to launch it that I know of. I'll show you guys a more advanced tutorial later on how to install mods, which I'll show you guys that in a later tutorial if you guys want to see it. But pretty much that's it. Make sure this, now the most tedious part of this is called bug fixing. You have to basically play the mod and basically see if you did it well, if you coded it well. So this is bug fixing, and it needs a level 3 space station. So in order to build it, we need a level 3 space station. So when this finishes, there should be an icon that shows up here, the one like the one we made, and then you should be able to click it, build it, and then send it into battle. However, if it does not work, it means you coded it wrong, and it did not work, which means we coded something wrong. This is the most tedious part. So, what did we do wrong? This just, okay, space model name. Space model name. We got the model name right. Rebel Mon Calamari MC. Or did we? Yep, we got it right. Okay, so the model name is not wrong. Hardpoints mod. This is all the same. Hardpoint data files. We put it hardpoints mod in there. Unit space Rebel MC50. Game object files. Okay. Tech level 4 required. Okay, I think that's the problem. Okay. I don't think we coded it wrong. I think we have to steal the technology. Yes, rebels had to steal tech from the Empire, if you remember correctly. And there it is. MC50 medium cruiser. Remember, you just have to make sure that you check. That's all. That's pretty much it. So this right here, this stuff right here that says strong against, weak against there, you can change that in the game files, and I'll show you how to do that in a second. But for the sake of simplicity, I'm just going to leave this the way it is. So there we go. And we just drag this. We're just going to attack Sullus just to show it off. Now this is a huge fleet. There's no way we're going to win. But as you can see, the game, it is fully coded into the game. As you can see, I hover over it. There's hard points, weapons, and it has the cluster bomb ability from the MC30. So it's a little fast, which you can change that if you want to. And you can make it bigger or smaller if you want to, but that's pretty much it. That's pretty much how you add a new unit. Now, this can get much, much, much more complicated when you're adding bigger ships or you're adding more hardpoint types. And I haven't even covered like playing with like how to add newer like abilities and stuff. I didn't even cover that. But this is just a basic tutorial on how to create an icon and integrate a new unit into the game. Okay, guys. So now, as to how to change the strong against, weak against stuff, um, basically that's right here. Encyclopedia good against, encyclopedia vulnerable to. This does actually not affect gameplay. This is just something they sort of here to. It's just a reference to how to use the game, use it in combat. So this is good because it's basically strong against, weak against. We saw in the you saw a second ago, that thing got torn up by the Vengeance frigate. So we're gonna leave that, but it is no way gonna take on a Star Destroyer or a Kadalbi. So basically, to find, you have to look through the game files, like you have to look through your XML files to actually see what the units are called. We're just gonna go down to space units, frigates for strong units, Nebulon B frigate. Let's just say this thing is strong against pirate frigates. Just copy this. Just replace that. It's good against pirate frigates and interdictor cruisers. And let's put one more in there because it can have up to 3. But if you have any more than 3, it won't work. It might. I don't know if it crashes the game, but I know it doesn't work. Okay, so let's say Acclimator assault ship. There we go. So now when we load up the game again, it should, as you can see here, it should database child is reload, click reload, yes, and if we hover over it, it says, there we go, strong against pirate frigate, interdictor cruiser, and acclimator. So there we go. And that's pretty much it. That's the whole mod. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope you enjoy and play with your new mod and enjoy it.